Good morning, divine, beautiful souls. It is a beautiful, beautiful day in November, the transit of Scorpio. So many beautiful things happening. One thing I wanted to touch base on is I had one video about Scorpio at step 0. Scorpio is all about the journey of transformation. In order to do that, we must go through our deepest and darkest thoughts, feelings, emotions. It's an epic journey. But we realize that through the journey, the only way through those difficult times is the way through it. And identifying that these different things we're going through, allowing ourselves to be in an observation state is helpful. But also, one who's on mission mindset, really understanding who we are and where our power, how we hold our power. And that's important. We're very, very powerful beings because we're made in the likeness of Source. Our intentions are everything. When we distort truth within our own being, we will see it magnified outward. But when we go into the darkest of dark, it becomes the lightest of light. Because our truth, when we set the intention, our truth illuminates through our being and allows us to see the depths of our soul and our heart and where that is. So part of this Scorpio transit is really setting sacred space, a sacred intention, and what we want to transform. A lot of us may not like our home life, or we may not like, the relationships we're in, or families, or maybe we do love all of those things and we want to see it grow. We're all in different situations, and maybe we're not happy with ourselves. Or maybe we want to go deeper within ourselves. This is the time to do it, guys. And remember, I don't know if you guys ever seen Harry Potter, but there's these things called Death Eaters. Okay? Well, you know what? In this case, Scorpios are actually Death Eaters. We stare, the Scorpio energy, I should say. Scorpio energy stares the demon in the face and says, I'm gonna eat you today, and I'm gonna use you to fuel my soul to illuminate the light. Because when we eat our fears, they no longer exist, because we're highlighting the love. So today is step 9 in Scorpio. Ruling planets of Scorpio actually has 2. It's Pluto and Mars. Funny little story. So I noticed, not only with myself, but really close being to me, I didn't realize this until later, but we were actually thinking of very similar costumes for Halloween. Samhain. And because of my Scorpio nature, I realized something. Every year when I would come up with something, I sometimes always wanted to be a very dark character. Because normally I'm not. And Halloween gives us the ability to honor all characters for who they are, for what they are. And so this year, I thought about Scorpio, how I'm a Scorpio, how I like to have some edge to me sometimes, because I don't get to present it much. Mostly I'm this fun-loving, happy-go-lucky guy that just wants to love everything and everyone. Well, I got some shadows, and that's okay. I like my shadows. I like my intensity, and I love my passion. I even like my sadistic nature in a way. I know. I don't see it as bad. I don't. I like my mysterious side. And my character that I chose, as I was thinking through Scorpio, and originally I thought about being a superhero, my own superhero, and I hated it in the fact of calling it a superhero. So I was like, I need a character, because that's what I play in. And as I'm searching through Scorpio energy, I'm like, Pluto. You know, Pluto's the god of the underworld. You know, my leading planet here. And I said, you know what? I already have a character. When I did my class this year, someone named me Scorpius, as I wore my Scorpio, astrology t-shirt. And I don't know, I felt like very powerful in a way, but like in a good way, you know, like in a very own my own nature. And so I said, you know what, let me be Scorpius. So I wore something very similar to what I wore last year. I guess it was a a trial run last year, but I didn't know who I was in that, really. I said, maybe I'll be a witch, a male witch. That was my Scorpius nature, and I honored it, and it was beautiful, and it was deep, it was a little bit dark, a little bit edgy, but I'm here to say, whoever you chose to be for Halloween, or whatever piece inside of you want to acknowledge, this is the time to do it. Whether that be dressing up, you know, in the character state, writing, doing art, this is a time for a creativity of honoring your true being. Those pieces that we don't necessarily always like, and honoring them for who they are, and taking ownership and making that the best piece of ourselves through growth. Now, we were touching a base on step 9 for today. I'll get through this. So, the leading planets of Scorpio are Pluto and Mars. Mars is the god of war. So you got the planet of the underworld matched with the god of war. Okay, so god of the underworld, god of war. That's a pretty epic transit right there. The other planet that is associated with Mars is Aries. And they're very similar in a sense, in regards to their let's go nature. So step 9 is all about the Aries energy. It's the I act, I am. There's a parallel to that, to the Christ energy, the I act, I am. Most of the time, Mars is looked at from the ego, the the ego in a negative context, but you know, Aryan beings are, and the Aries energy is a very powerful energy that allows us to know exactly what we want and to move forward. Now, interesting energies right now. We have Mercury in retrograde, which for some of us, we don't like to take action. Well, here's the time to take action within our own being, to search deep within in regards to our thought processes, our how we think, and anywhere in our chart that really Mercury highlights. And Mercury's energies that are associated with it is Gemini and Virgo. So, you know, if you know your chart, look into your chart and see, you know, maybe where your Mars is, where your Mercury is, and anywhere where Mercury is associated, so Gemini and Virgo. And also your step 11s and your step 5s. A little key there. But here's the thing, is we gotta do the work. We gotta do the work within ourselves in order for us to shine. So, some do it faster than others, and there's no rush here, okay? None. It's the power behind it. The depth that we go in, especially at this time. Scorpios, go deep. So go deep within your being, your soul, your heart, your mind, your physical being. Go deep. And within that, you will understand where you need to take action. Because maybe some of us are there already, maybe some of us aren't. Go deep, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste, divine, beautiful souls. We're in Scorpio.